Moment we've all waited for. This is what we stayed up all night for. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the main event of the evening. And it's scheduled for one fall. Into the ring by Lex Ford. She's coming to us from Venice Beach, California. Weighing in at none of your business. She is the magnetic Mylo. And her opponent. Making his way to us from Buena Park, California. He weighs 185 pounds and stands 5 foot 8 inches tall. He is the man they call El Primo Henio Rebecca! Folks, this is what we came for. This is what it's all about. It is time for the main event of the evening. And have we got one for you? It's Mac Daddy Milo going up against El Primo Henio Rebecca. And this is going to be one for the ages.
Absolutely. It is suave versus sass.
So we got Primo making sure to take his time as Scarlett removes the jacket.
Here's what's interesting about these two competitors. They both have a ton of confidence. They both have a ton of swagger. It's going to be interesting to see who can out-wrestle the other one, who can out-sass the other one, who's got more attitude, who's got more fight in them. I'm willing to bet that Milo's got a little bit more fight in them.
That's a bold claim, especially this early on. I know one guy that doesn't seem to find himself short of confidence is Primo, but it's the people behind Milo's. Milo maybe letting it get to her a little too early.
Milo's got the backing of the fans. Primo, on the other hand, as you can see, cocky, trying to get the fans behind him. Not going to happen. Primo's had a complete change of attitude as of late, if you haven't noticed. Primo used to be this brooding, odd duck type. He completely had a change of tone when he discovered that he had a chiseled jaw and pectorals worth showing off. So we'll see if that translates to mat prowess tonight.
You can say what you want about the attitude of Primo, but you got to admit he's been hitting the gym. He's been adding on some of that muscle. He's been getting stronger. And he is not to be taken lightly, whether you like him or not.
Both Primo and Milo in excellent shape. They came to fight. They were ready to fight. Ready to beat the ever-loving snot out of each other in this main event. I'm ready to see an actual fight.
Now, Primo getting the early advantage, sending Mylo down, but Mylo not one to beat a turd. Doesn't seem to have lost any of her confidence. Doesn't seem to have lost a skip in her step as they lock up.
No, not at all, Jack. I'll be interested to see if they get too lost in the theatrics or if they actually focus on winning the match.
Hey, come on. Watch that hair. Let's keep it in the center of the ring.
As Primo goes for the blue hair of Mylo, the trademark of Mylo. And Mylo, doesn't seem to be too shocked that Primo's already going for some dirty moves. Now, come on, going for the handshake. We know this is no good.
It's great strategy, though. If he can sucker her in, you can't say it's a bad idea.
It's a left-handed handshake. Kiss of the hand. Who does he think he is? He's not going to romance someone like Mylo in the middle of the match.
Absolutely not. Mylo, in fact, took the advantage there. So if anything, Mylo outsmarted him.
Mylo goes to the ropes, flips over, reverses the armbar, and now it's El Primo on his knee. Using that strength and just going for a punch right to the midsection before driving the knee right into Mylo. And now Primo jawing up Lex Ford, and Lex Ford.
I mean, it goes without saying that Primo has the size advantage, and that definitely matters in a wrestling match like this. But Mylo, if she continues to out-technique him with these beautiful arm drags, she's gonna be able to cut down the size advantage real quick with these leverage moves.
I don't want to go to cliches, but it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog, and no one has more fight in them than Mighty Mac Daddy Mylo, even though she finds herself in the corner right now.
Mylo can go the distance, though. Like you said, she's got an excellent gas tank. She's got grit. She's got tenacity. She's got pugnaciousness.
As using the speed, Mylo with the monkey flip onto Primo, sends him to the middle of the mat, and now she's the one pointing the finger off the ropes with a sliding clothesline, taking Primo down, hooking the legs. And Primo going to the outside to catch a break.
Yeah, Primo realizes he's not going to be able to out-wrestle Mylo, but maybe he can out-tire her, maybe he can out-think her. But if he lets the crowd get in his head, it's going to be an easy feast for Mylo.
As Mylo goes with a suicide dive through the ropes, but Primo catches her and slams her onto the ring apron. You know, they say that's the hardest part of the ring.
It's the hardest part of the ring. It's the hardest part of the apron. Mylo taking a chance too early in the match. Primo, if he just continues to outpower her, I think this match actually could go in Primo's favor pretty quickly. And now Primo just using his attitude.
Lex Ford find himself in danger as Mylo comes to Lex Ford's aid. Usually it's Lex Ford coming to the wrestler's aid. That was a fun turn of the tables, but Mylo taking it to Primo, and Primo realizing that all of his game plans are not working. Mylo screams as she dives for the tope. This time it connects, sending Primo down to the mat, down to the outside. And once again, as we say at Santino Brothers, every seat is a front row seat.
That's right, Jack. Mylo taking a chance. First time didn't work out. Second time did. That's the pugnaciousness I was talking about. Mylo will go back to the well as many times as it takes to get Primo off his feet, to get him on the ropes. Primo a little too focused on his looks, a little too focused on getting the crowd behind him, which clearly is not going to happen. All Mylo has to do is stay in this, stay pugnacious, and avoid stuff like this, these dirty tactics from Primo.
It doesn't matter how much fight you have or how talented you are. When someone shoves their thumb in your eye, it's all equal. As Primo locks in a dragon sleep before driving his knee into the back of the Mac Daddy.
It just takes one shot, Jack. If Primo's able to drive his knee right into her head enough times, she's not going to be able to continue.
Again, a devastating backbreaker, and right now the back of Mylo needs to just be aching. Working over that midsection, going for the pin.
But Primo right now, I'm continuing to work on that back. I'm splitting her in half as best as I can. You take out that spine, you can't breathe, you can't stand up.
Mylo fighting back. Again, the fight in her that we talked about, but the size advantage is just too much as Primo goes to rain down some fists, but Scarlett stops him. Mylo's still trying to fight out of it, but finds herself getting put right into a camel clutch. And this might be too much.
Not only does Primo have the size advantage, when he has leverage like that, it's almost like his weight doubles. It's almost like the shock loads of gravity contribute, and so Mylo's feeling twice as much force as she normally would in a regular hold.
As he drives the knuckles into the back, into the spine, pulling back in that deathlock move. Twisting and bending and just almost breaking her in half, to your point. But now Mylo trying to get to the ropes. And Lex Ford, if you're Lex Ford, what are you telling Mylo right now? What advice are you giving her to try to help her in this situation?
I mean, the best thing that Lex Ford can do is just continue to keep Mylo focused, to keep her present, to keep her aware. The last thing that Mylo wants to do is lose oxygen and then lose focus. Lex has got to keep her focused and keep her present in this match.
Right now, double underhook, and again a gut buster across the knee, right in the middle of the ring. And whether it's the back or the gut, it's just being worked over again and again by Primo. He likes to think about how he looks, but he definitely has a strategy here, and it seems to be executed to perfection as he kicks the back again.
No, you're absolutely right, Jack. Primo's game plan has been rock solid this entire time. Work over the midsection, continue to keep leverage. Quick 2 count there. Use his size advantage, beat Mylo down, cut off the oxygen supply, get her thinking about catching her breath instead of thinking about winning the match.
Right now, as Primo just has to lift up the almost dead weight, and gadzooks, the force of that throw into the turnbuckle sends her down to the mat.
That is quite the comic book explanation, Jack. You certainly have the vernacular for the action. I won't deny you that, but this is just a straight up mugging right now by Primo. Just smash mouth. Again, the elbow to the midsection.
At this point, I have to be wondering if there's been damage to the ribs or the spine as he hooks in that dragon sleeper. Goes for the throat cut with a crossroads roll the dice type maneuver, and Mylo is out. Mylo is out. This is academic. No!
Wow. Mylo staying in this.
Mylo, not to be denied, will not let this opportunity at a main event win at Santino Brothers slip through her fingers. But she needs to find a way to level the playing field.
She absolutely does. If Mylo could find a way to pull this off, that would be a huge win for Mylo, who's trying to string some wins together. But the fact of the matter is that Primo has got her on the ropes. Primo has got Mylo sucking wind right now with all those shots to the gut. Mylo's got to be careful and conserve energy here as she unloads.
As she is just shoved down. Lex Ford getting a little bit more than he bargained for, really earning that manager's check as he's got the hand of Primo wrapped around his throat, but Lex Ford not to be pushed around as Mylo, this is the moment. She fires up. She goes for a drop kick, and Primo's in the corner, and now fighting back with everything she has, everything she's got, all the heart, as she goes for that Big Mac Bulldog, driving the face of Primo into the mat. She hooks the legs.
Great transition by Mylo right there. That's great. She didn't take any wasted motion, just right into the crossface. This is the best chance Mylo's got to win the entire match. She's got to wrench this back. She's got to use all of her pugnaciousness, all of her fire right now. This is her chance.
It. They are in the middle of the ring. The ropes are miles away. As she pulls back, she needs to pull back with everything he has. But Primo clawing and crawling, and he finds a way to get to that bottom rope, and Mylo is just devastated.
Jack, this is exactly what I was talking about. Even when he's on bottom, the size differential between Primo and Mylo is so much so that Primo can literally just muscle Mylo to the ropes, and Mylo, who's still probably sucking wind from all of those gut shots, just doesn't necessarily have the capacity that Primo has at this point in the match.
She looked like she was about to hit that Mac attack, but it wasn't enough as Primo scouted it, drives her into the corner, and again, works that midsection, and I don't know how much more that back can take. Driving it into an elbow before looking for some kind of power bomb into the ring. It shook the entire building as he goes for the hook.
It's got to be over.
And that was it. That devastating power bomb.
An excellent main event, Jack. But at the end of the day, The size and power of Primo was really just too much.
And your winner, El Primo, Henio,
A very well fought match by Mylo, but unfortunately not enough to overcome the power and the technique and the strategy of El Primo. Let's hear from El Primo now as we've got Jack in the ring to interview him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am standing by with your winner of the main event this evening. Primo, you didn't win the love of the people of Santino, brothers, but you got what matters, and that is a win in the main event. Everyone has to be wondering, what's next for El Primo?
For too long, I have been ignored. For too long, I have been questioned if I was main event worthy. Well, if a W doesn't do it, then the ass whooping I just gave Milo does not matter. Proves that I belong in the main event, Jack Farmer. You know why? You know why? Because the best is yet to come. The best of El Primo, Henio, Trebeka.
El Primo making it known that the best is yet to come.
You hear me?
And his performance tonight certainly solidified himself as a bona fide Santino's main eventer.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it one more time for all the wrestlers, all the production folks, the commentary team, the referees. But ladies and gentlemen, most importantly, let's hear it for all of you. This has been Santino Brothers Tuesday Up All Night. And as we say every single week, we're going to do it again and again and again. We'll see you next week with more of that pro wrestling action. Folks, until then, let me hear you chant it. Up all night. Up all night. Up